Okay, we back. Fix my tie. Wait for y'all to get up in here. We back. And this will be the last part. After tonight, we'll finally be done with American Pimp. Make sure that you share this video, like it. Told you guys when I was going to be back, I'm a little bit tardy. Excuse that. What's going on, Kev Mac? Blessings to Kev Mac. Hold on. If y'all want any information concerning basically about, uh, Crips, Bloods, Parus, Brims, Bishops, whatever. If you want to know about this true West Coast history, you're going to have to go to Kev Mac's channel. Okay, them other channels, they got all the youngsters on there, and that's fine and dandy. I like the youngsters. But if you really want a true, definition of what it was, at that particular time, the foundation, because you can't understand Revelations until you go to Genesis first. You got to go to Kev Mac's channel. Kev Mac interviews the OGs. You know what I mean? And I like to see basically the OGs because if it wasn't for their day, we wouldn't have a day. They go for the pimp game, dope game, gang banging. It don't matter. You know what I mean? Without their day, we don't have a day. So we always got to pay homage. And we just give honor when honor is due. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You can't conform to something till you informed about it first. So the knowledge come first. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So in order to prevent from being destroyed, what do you need? Knowledge. What is knowledge? The game. So if you're going to be in the streets and be in the game, you are in need of the game. Knowledge. So by all means, you see Kev Mac videos, make sure y'all click on that, subscribe to bro, hit the bell, you know what I mean? Support bro, I love his content. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I watch Street Gangs, but I mostly watch Kev Mac because the content, is just the best definition of classic. You can't go wrong with Kev Mac. That's like a motherfucker saying that they about to drive an Excalibur or a 1965 Rolls Royce, clean as hell. It's old, but that Rolls Royce is still a motherfucking Rolls Royce, and it's still gonna turn heads, and you're still gonna be able to get your bread. Blessings to everybody. Extended clips, man. Thank you for coming in for the 199, bro. Thank you. I'll let you come in with your little joke. Hopefully somebody will laugh at what you said, man. Maybe a bride, maybe a bitch might find it funny in the suburbs or something. After watching so many of my videos, I hope that you would have gained a sense of humor by now. I need for everybody to hit the like button. The more likes, the more recommendations for the video. YouTube is not going to push the notifications for my videos like they do to others. So I need y'all help. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all, for fucking with me. But fuck with me a little bit more. Hit that like button. And by all means, share it. Ladies, fellas, share this on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all over. Share it. Because even though I'm talking about the documentary, you already know that I'm going to say some things that's basically going to be beneficial to the official in all different lanes. Why? Because the game is so impeccable that it's applicable to any lifestyle you endeavor to live. So whether you're a square, a hustler, card cracker, player, Mac, gangster, the information, man, it's the game, baby. So hit that like button, man. We damn near got 100 people now. I know, I don't know what it is with YouTube. It's like if you do a live video, too close to the one you just did, sometimes it take a while to get the notifications out. I don't know, but I know one thing, y'all get more than 35 likes up in here. If it's 101 people up in here right now, yes, you can hit the like button for me right now. Do that. Hit that like button. Matter of fact, let me edit this right quick. There we go. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me edit this. Okay, cool. There we go. Now, before I begin this one, I want to give you some history, a little bit. Now, as far as who got paid and who didn't get paid, first of all, whenever you do a documentary, nobody gets paid. Hold on. Where to find the like button out of the live chat. Good looking, Kev. But in a documentary, you're not supposed to get paid to do a documentary. They don't have to pay you to do a documentary. Okay? So just to let you know, not all of the pimps, but the pimps that Dre put in the film, they got $1,000. Okay? I'm going to walk you through this. The pimps that Dre put in American Pimp, they got $1,000 each to be in the film. Dre got, basically Dre sat up there and got 15,000. Dre got 15,000 because pretty much it was his film. So, you know what I mean? Hold on. I appreciate that, bro. Some more of it. But, you know what I mean? Dre sit up there and ended up getting 15,000. And the only reason why they ended up getting 1,000 is because Dre ended up compelling the Hughes brothers to say, come on, man, you at least gotta give them, you know what I mean, $1,000. You at least gotta bless them with that. You know what I mean? So the Hughes brothers gave the pimps that Dre put in $1,000 each. All right? A lot of pimps in the game had a problem with it because they felt like it was too much information that was given in the film, especially for pimps to only get $1,000. A few P's was upset with that. You know what I mean? And they felt like it was disrespectful to the game for that level of game to be given up like that. You know what I mean? To only basically receive $1,000. You know what I mean? No, Anthony, this we just started. You know what I mean? $1,000. So, you know what I mean? They was like, you know, goddamn, you know what I mean? You sat up there and put the game on blast, you know what I mean? And talked about this and talked about that and talked about that and talked about this, all for the price of $1,000. Damn, was times that hard? That was a lot of P's perspective. Then you had pimps who was jealous. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them try to use the game. They try to hide behind the game. My love for the game wouldn't. No, in reality, a lot of the pimps were jealous of the pimps in American Pimp because the truth is, after they did American Pimp, a lot of them pimps' careers, you know what I mean, who was right here, was seen like this after American Pimp. Not gonna say certain names, but certain individuals, they was pretty much, you know, on medium. They wasn't on no superstar level with this game. But after American Pimp came out, they were seen like that. They were seen like that simply because, you understand me, you had squares from all over the country and outside of the country that seen American Pimp. Look, Puffy seen it, Jay-Z seen, everybody and their mama seen American Pimp. Everybody hit the like button. Hit that like button, man. Yeah, this is another live. You know what I mean? But, you know, this just to keep that thing all the way motherfucking 100, 15,000, whether it been 100,000, let me tell you something. With the exposure that they received by doing American Pimp, bro, it should have did it for free. That's just my opinion. To each his own. Simply because if you don't have enough game to, after that documentary, to come out with a book or a film about your life, or, you know, you can't basically bring some restoration to your situation, and you've been an American Pimp who millions have seen all over, millions of people have seen that documentary. So if you see anybody in that from that film doing bad, you know what I mean? Doing bad, they fucked up. Hey man, I don't know what to say. Because somebody like myself being in a film like that, hell yeah, so much that you could do. So much you could do. What you mean you ain't got no money and you was an American Pimp? You ought to feel ashamed of yourself. Lets me know that you really don't have game that you profess that you have. Ain't no way in the world. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? But to each his own, man. Then you got some people that actually say that they regret doing certain things. Man, please. Because if it had not been for American Pimp, a lot of certain people would have never even been known. You was barely even known in the game. So if it had not been for American Pimp, would nobody even known you? You didn't do anything to be recognized by the game. So after the film came out, you had a bunch of local jokers, niggas basically who really wasn't seen like that in the game, now being seen as the faces of the game now because of the damn film. So I'm going to give you some more because I said, hold on. There we go. Hold on. This is information that I haven't given you. Of course, I told you that Dre endeavored to get Gene Morgan in the game, which is a legendary pimp. He and Gene Morgan, he said no. Okay. You had the original Johnny Moe. Dre was endeavoring to get the original Johnny Moe in the film. He said no. Tidy, he declined. Jay out of Portland, he declined. And let me just tell you, at this time, when the film was going on, Tidy Pete was doing good. Lil D was doing good. Reese was doing good. KD was doing good. Stiffy was doing good. Eminem was doing good. Fancy was doing good. You know what I mean? So I don't want you to think that after you seen that film, that was the everybody was part of the elite. You know what I mean? No. That's not so. You know what I mean? Certain people were just cool with Dre, and Dre, by him having love for the game and love for his loved ones, he put a lot of people in the film. And then some, he endeavored to put more in the film than that, truth be told. But the Hughes brothers wasn't feeling them, and they didn't make the cut. Fancy and Eric in Hawaii compelled Dre to get jewelry once Dre came back from Canada. So when Dre had basically, you know, I know a lot of y'all have seen pictures with Dre in Canada sitting with Vitamin, you know what I mean, giving him, I think, I think he gave Dre gave I forgot P name. He gave him 10,000 and he gave Vitamin P 20,000. Okay? So it's really laughable when certain individuals say they gave a jug and they saying shit like I gave $100. You know what I mean? Niggas is saying shit like I gave $100. I gave P $50, $80. It's quite laughable for you to say, oh man, I did so much for the pimping. What you do, P? Oh man, I gave that nigga 50, I gave him 100. Now I can understand that that's everything that you had, but if you sitting on racks, you know what I mean? If you even 10,000, which that ain't no money, you know what I mean? But if you got, especially for the P's, you in the 50s, you in the hundreds, and you give the pimping $50, $100, man, stop it. Especially when you got Dre giving his partner, give one partner 10,000 and give another partner 20,000 and flew both of them niggas in Toronto. Come on, man. You talking about love for the game. Pimps, man. That's why I say, everybody that profess this shit really don't possess this shit. You know what I mean? No, I was, when American Pimp came out, let's see. Yeah, man, when American Pimp came out, shit, I was a teenager. So no, man, I wouldn't. Come on, man, stop it. But okay, Fancy, if you ever want to talk to Dre, this is things I remember from our conversations. So you could go back and be like, Sin taught us, or Sin said this, or Sin said that, and go see, you know what I mean, if it's true or not. You know what I mean? Go ahead. But it was Fancy and Eric in Hawaii that compelled Dre to get jewelry. Before Dre came to Hawaii, he really wasn't no jewelry dude. Dre really wasn't fucking with the jewelry. But when he seen Fancy and Eric doing their thing in Hawaii, that's what really compelled him to start getting jewelry. Even though, that's not who compelled him to get jewelry, but I just know from pictures, Charm had some beautiful pieces. Charm had a lot of good pieces. You know what I mean? The movie didn't show that, but Charm had a lot of great classic pieces, man, when it came to this jewelry. Yeah, American Pimp didn't show that. Appreciate that, D, coming in here, man, with the 10, man. Thank you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Definitely came in there. And let me say this, man, to you guys. I appreciate whether it's $1, $5, 10, 20. I've heard certain individuals put on an Oscar award performance and say, yeah, we ain't begging for money over here. We ain't asking for money. You ain't never heard me ask for money. But at the same particular time, if I'm speaking the game and I'm giving you some information and you have appreciation for that information and you want to make a donation, why am I in the wrong or I'm looked at strange for receiving it? Especially when you seen me on different channels giving. Especially when you seen me donating currency to different charities. Come on, man. I'm not even going to get into the things that I've done because that ain't shit. You know what I mean? I want the game to put me in a better position so I can be more of a blessing to my people, to my community, and, you know what I mean, to the game. But come on, man. So a whole bunch of ones beat a whole bunch of nuns any day. If you see anybody, YouTube or any platform, and they giving you some inspiration, some exhortation, some uncommon information, you know what I mean, to help you get to the location of success or motivated you, why wouldn't you sit up there and give a contribution to somebody that was a blessing to you? I never understood that. I never understood people saying things like that. Game is to be paid for. If you could pay for Jordans, if you could pay, you understand me, for dumbass music, if you could pay for lean, you know what I mean? You mean to tell me you can't sit up there and be a blessing to the game? Come on, man. There we go. J702, bro, just sit back and enjoy the game, bro. Don't make no more meaningless comments. Otherwise, the brothers is going to escort you out the door, brother. Just sit back and enjoy the game, bro. Because that's like the third or fourth comment that you done made that was off key. You know what I mean? With this game. If you don't desire to basically hear about the has-beens or the is or the will be's, brother, just come back at another time. But I don't need you making meaningless comments, taking off your panties in the comments section and shit. I'm coming through with this game right now. Blessings to you. But Los. It was a P by the name of Los. Back in the day, they had that white Rolls Royce in Hawaii. You know what I mean? He was having thieves like a motherfucker. At that time, he was doing good. Of course, you should have been heard of this. You should have heard of BG. Okay? When you hear of Dre speak of Vogue, the Vogue bitch that he knocked, they gave him like, I don't know, 200 or 300,000 within like a 3 or 4 month period or something like that. That bitch come from BG. Okay? She was laced by BG. BG is a legendary P. A lot of y'all be bringing up certain people's names, and honestly, they not equivalent to BG at all. Hey, Iceberg, thank you for the 10, bro. Blessings to you. You know what I mean? But yeah, Los had that white Rolls Royce in Hawaii at the time with the thieves. He was having motherfuckers stealing like a motherfucker. Around 95 and 96, those that know him or know of him, though, not these guys that be calling themselves success, okay? I only know one, okay? The success I know is out of Texas, okay? Not saying it ain't nobody else, but that's the one I recognize, okay? So the success I'm speaking about should be in his 50s. You know what I mean? Maybe even older, I don't know, but he's older. All these young guys calling themselves success and stuff like that. Like I told you guys need to come out with names that go along with you. If you can't maintain your monthly or your weekly, you know what I mean? You got 3 bitches that you sending, but yet you can't maintain your weekly, but your name is success, brother, you need to change that. Joseph, thank you, man, for the 5. Good looking. Yeah, BG had that white blonde named Asia that was a cold thief. You know what I mean? So if you talk to any of the older P's at that time, you know what I mean, in the Hawaii days and things like that, you know what I mean, you can ask about BG and they're going to sit up there and speak on that and give you some history on that Asia bitch too, because she was still like a motherfucker. At that time, Mel Salisbury, you know what I mean, Roscoe, you know what I mean? Legendary, older P's that was legends that I also believe. Don't write me off on it, but I think Dre asked them to be in too, but I think they declined. If not, they probably wasn't existing. And if they was existing, Dre definitely asked, because Dre talk about Mel Salisbury and Roscoe all the time. Let me see. And just to give you some things about Mel Taylor, because Dre speaks about his father often, but one of the most profound statements that it ain't even so like profound, but it was so manly. I liked it because it was so manly. You know what I mean? Mel Taylor said, any nigga can outsmall me, but you'll never be able to outbig me. I like that. Any nigga can outsmall me, but you'll never be able to outbig me. Meaning that a lot of that shit that you niggas see today, they be like, ooh, he petty. He petty. He petty. Oh, he petty. And petty is being praised as if that's the thing to be. You know what I mean? But in all honesty, it's not manly. That's feminine. So, as far as doing something outlandish, rambunctious, something contrary to masculinity, things of femininity, you know what I mean? You're going to always be able to outsmall me. Getting involved in a lot of Wendy Williams ass shit with you, going back and forth, me, you do a status, I do a status, you do a status, I do a status. You do a video, I do a video, you do a video. You scratch my car, I scratch your, you sit up there and shoot at me, I shoot. You'll be able to always, in that type of shit, you're going to always be able to outsmall me, but you'll never be able to outbig me. I like that. Of course, all y'all know about the mansion that Mel had in Hollywood Hills. You know, the deepest that Mel was at one time, the deepest he's ever been was 16 holes. You should know that Mel Taylor knocked one of the Beach Boys, the drummer, excuse me, the drummer for one of the Beach Boys. They bitches. Don't go around saying the drummer boy, but Beach Boys, but the drummer boy for the Beach. So when you go through the concerts and things like that, and you see a live band and you see the drummer playing for the Beach Boys. Yeah, Mel Taylor knocked his ass for the bitch. Yeah, man. Oh yeah. Another story. Just giving you some old school stories. Success had a friend, the original Lace, not Young Lace, and blessings to Young Lace, because Young Lace is definitely doing his thing. But the original Lace, old school OG Lace, had knocked a deaf bitch. The bitch was deaf. And do you know that Lace had so much game to lace the bitch with that he sent the bitch to the blade, you know what I mean? And she was deaf. Yeah, Mel Taylor is in the film. Mel Taylor is the one that started talking about the origins of the game. He also said a respectable prostitute wouldn't get these clowns a dime. That's Mel Taylor, the one with the beard. You know what I mean? Around his face. I wish you could have seen him because anybody know Mel Taylor, he's very tall. And the way that Dre looks now, that's the way Mel Taylor looked then. But Mel is just taller. Only one that came out short was Dre. Shay, Mel, they all tall. You know what I mean? Shay took after his father. But yeah, man, Lace sat up there and sent the deaf bitch. That bitch was deaf. You know what I mean? She could, and you know what? People might be laughing, but one thing about a deaf bitch, with pimps getting at the bitch, you know what I mean? She can't hear nothing. She can't hear nothing that is being said. You know what I mean? So pimps out there just, yeah, bitch, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You need to sit up there and choose up with my pimping bitch. You know what I mean? You might be with Lace, but you need to sit up there, you understand me, and do what Teddy Pendergrass said and come to my place, you know what I'm saying? And really show me Benjamin's faces and shit like that, bitch. That's what you need to do, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're fucking with the young Lace, you know what I'm saying? But he's not able to give you a taste of this pimping, though, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, bitch, you know what I'm saying? You really need to be fucking with some ism, bitch. Stop acting like you deaf to this shit, that you can't hear this shit, bitch. You know you motherfucking hear this shit, bitch. How could you run away from this shit? Even if you went to a motherfucking planet, you still wouldn't be able to stand it, bitch. You know what I mean? These people gonna reach you wherever you go, bitch. If you even went to the solar system, bitch, this pimp gonna sit up there and fly me there, bitch. And I'm gonna have an all-you-can-hear buffet in your motherfucking ear, bitch. You understand me about this motherfucking pimping, bitch? When you go to sleep, we're gonna be talking about this pimping. You understand me? When you wake up, we're gonna be talking about this pimping. While you're in the shower, you gonna hear me talking about this pimping, bitch. You might as well choose me. All you gonna hear, bitch, is my pimping. My pimping. Matter of fact, I need to make a song for that. My pimpin'. Come on. Everybody put your hands together. Niggas be doing all type of weird shit on the blade. I'm trying to tell you. Sing it one more time. Yeah. Come on, put y'all hands together. Come on for my pimpin'. And, anybody that's ever sit up there, you understand me, and been on the blade with the pimpin' was sitting up there and say anything and everything to get a bitch out of pocket. Come on, Miss Gold Shoes, I see you. Come on, sing it one more. Hey, my pimpin'. You know what I mean? Bitch be like, oh, I like, you know what I mean? Yeah, bitch. So, you know what I mean? We gonna sing about my pimpin'. We gonna bring about my pimpin'. We gonna sit up there and travel about my pimpin', bitch. You understand me? When you die, I don't know nothing about the afterlife. But, bitch, if it's a motherfucking afterlife, we gonna be talking about my pimpin'. Yeah, bitch, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, just my pimpin', man. If you don't even remember my name, you know what I mean? I just renamed myself today, bitch. You understand me? My pimpin'. You know what I mean? So, of course, a bitch gonna sit up there you know what I mean, to get out of bounds or something, man. I done seen bitches get out of bounds over the craziest shit, but yeah, man. A pimp would be doing all of that, screaming, singing. Yeah, sing it one more time. Bitch be sitting over there just walking on the blade like, is he trying to sing? Yeah, bitch. I'm talking about my pimping. My pimping. You know, bitch sitting over there talking about my pimping. Yeah, yeah. So when you in the motherfucking shower and shit, you gonna remember that motherfucker. Yeah, it's gonna jingle in your head. Be like, yeah, it's gonna be all up in your head, bitch. You know what I mean? My pimping. You know, I like when he said that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He had a nice soulful sound to it. My pimp, right, bitch. My pimping. And he can do all that to a bitch that can hear, but to a bitch that's deaf, he got all his personality. He charismatic. He doing all of this shit. And the bitch sitting over there not moving not one time. Why? Because she can't hear a thing. So Lace had a bitch out there that was deaf that was out there checking it, and the bitch was deaf. She couldn't hear the pimping. You know what I mean? Okay. Um, I'll say that. I'll say that probably for another. Give y'all too much. Okay, okay. Bam. Okay, let's get into it. There we go. So this is where I left off. Latrice spoke on the thoughts of getting killed by a trick. You know, that was during the time she had just lost her friend, Lisa. Lisa was killed going to the house of a trick that she dated regularly. Okay, they found their bones and all of that shit. So let me say this one more time before I speak on it. The bride named Latrice in American Pimp, she spoke on the thoughts of getting killed because she was thinking about, you know what I mean, because she had a friend that had just got killed by the name of Lisa. So she was like, damn, you know what I mean, am I going to get killed too? Because, you know, this hoe just lost her life. And that's why I always wonder, like, how could you not love a woman like this? And she know about this bitch getting killed. She know about that bitch getting killed. She know about this bitch constantly getting arrested. She done been through shit herself, and she constantly go through that shit just so a pimp can have some shit in the game. How you don't have no love for this woman? That don't make sense to me. Big Drew, man, good looking for the 10, man. Blessings to the family, man. Thank you. Um, but Latrice basically has spoke on Lisa. Lisa had just got killed by the tricking. And what I want to speak on is this. See, because within American Pimp, there's so many messages. I'll be all day. That's why this is the last video. I'm gonna be done with it. But I could have been a week long speaking about this film. But what I want to say is this. Some of you have gotten so comfortable. You know what I mean? So comfortable. You gotten way too comfortable with these tricks. Okay? Some of y'all think because you've been dating this trick for some time now that you could just relax, that you don't got to be on your A game. Blessed Jam, you ain't got to be on your A game because you done seen him for these many months, or you done seen him for a year, you seen him over a year. And I want you to know that you can't sit up there and predict what a trick is feeling or thinking. You don't know what's happening in that trick's life. So just keeping that shit all the way 100 by you not knowing what's going on in a trick's life, you don't know what the outcome of the situation with you know what I mean, being with that trick. That's why I encourage every hoe, man, you know, be prayerful, hope that God be merciful, you know what I mean, and bring you back, you know, safely in this sinful world. Yes, you got a pimp's instructions, but a pimp ain't omnipresent. So the pimp is not in the room with you, helping you put condoms on, tricks, dicks, and all of that. Pimping ain't sitting over there trying to play Black Ops the P with you. Pimp not going to go on dates with you. The pimping ain't gay. You know what I mean? So with that being said, when you in that room or house or whatever, you with him. Don't you ever become comfortable with a trick. I done seen bitches sit up there and leave the pimping and become girlfriend, boyfriend with the tricker. I done seen bitches leave the pimping and get married to the tricker. And then once they got fat or they, the thrill is gone, like BB King said, nah, you know what I mean? It was over for him. It was pretty much over. You know what I mean? Bitch dumped, nothing going on. You know what I mean? The thrill is gone. He don't want you no more. It's over. Now you back on pimping's line. You know what I mean? Coming with some old sob ass or lying ass story. So Pimpin' can take you back. You get on Pimpin's line with nothing. Putting on a facade like you everything, but you have nothing. You know what I mean? That shit is crazy. But you guys do it. But don't you ever become comfortable with the tricking. The tricking ain't your friend, bitch. That same trick that you laughing with and smiling with, and he been doing certain things for months or a year, bitch, that'd be the same trick to do something to sit up there and take your motherfucking life. Don't you ever become comfortable with the tricking to the point where everything is just cool now. You know what I mean? Nah. Because Lisa, if you listen to the story correctly, Lisa was with that particular trick for a while. Okay? And ended up losing her life. Bones found. Don't you ever get comfortable with a trick, bitch. You better remember that a trick is a trick. That ain't your friend. Only friend you got in this game, bitch, is the game that's coming from this pimping. This pimping. That's the only motherfucker you got. Because 9 out of 10, even some of them wifeys that y'all got, and they ain't even really lightweight. They ain't even fucking with you, but that's another video. Danny Brown said, I used to pray to God that he would protect, his woman that he had for 12 years. Danny really cared about her because he knew the guys, he knew certain guys basically that had lost hoes, by a murder, from a trick. And it fucked with their minds, pretty much all their life. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be all the way 100 with you. I would never, you know what I mean? Never think in a day. I hope God never, I just never could see that happening in my situation, but you never know. You can't say. And if that was to ever occur, even with somebody that I had, see, because we built differently. I really love hoes. So whether the bitch is paying me or not, because I used to have her, and I presided over her at one time in the memories that we had in the game, and if she ever lost her life, that would hurt me. Especially if a bitch is under my instructions and she gets sent to the graveyard. That's going to mentally fuck me up. I don't even know how a pimp can lose a great hoe. Not just any hoe, but a great hoe too. Because some of these niggas done lost bottom bitches that been with them for over a decade and all of that shit. Man, I'm going to keep it all the way 100 with you. Some of these niggas got blessings with these bottoms and shit. That's going to fuck a nigga up. So, me, myself, to all of the pimps that has ever, lost a hoe, especially a hoe that you had for years, and you still continued in the game afterwards, man, I applaud you. Because you stronger than me. Oh, yeah, you a strong motherfucker. I give it up to you. Yeah, I give you the utmost respect. You know what I mean? Because me, myself, I don't know, man. Bitch get killed, especially under my instructions, your mind will play tricks on you like, man, you sent that bitch to death. It'd be a deep depression. You know what I mean? All of this, man, we don't love hoes, man. You know what I mean? I remember one time a P from Memphis lost his bitch in New Orleans. It was at I think it was in Metairie. Um, the La Quinta. So basically, the bitch ended up getting killed. You know what I mean? By the tricking. Okay, bitch ended up getting killed by the tricking. You know what I mean? In the La Quinta. And once Pimpin found out about it, of course he was fucked up. And do you know you had so-called pimps from Memphis? Oh man, you know what I mean? Nah, man, come on, man, you gotta get over that shit, man, and pimp on, man. You know, one died, you know what I mean? But you know, you gotta multiply with this shit, man. You know what I mean? Keep campaigning. That's how you get over it, baby. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Get you some of this weed, man, to get up out, man. Come on, let's pimp. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not built like these niggas. These niggas is another breed. You know what I mean? We don't share the same views. That's why motherfucker like me need to be to myself. Because I don't share the same views as a lot of people that profess to be pimps. You know what I mean? A lot of niggas is idiots to me. But, you know, that P told me, he's like, man, I thank you, man, because you and Freeze was like the only ones that understood. All my Memphis P partners, man, they was talking nonsense in my ears. True story. You know what I mean? But yeah, I remember that time, man. You know what I mean? It was going down in New Orleans. You know what I mean? And the sad part is the bitch that had got killed, I seen her like a few days in front of Sneaky Pete's. We was chopping it up in front of Sneaky Pete's on Bourbon, and that same bitch, you know what I mean, that that ended up getting killed. I seen her days before she got killed because, you know, P was doing what he was doing at that time, you know, because he was showing out. And that's what I remembered. I was like, damn, man. But it was a bad time, man. Bitches was really getting murked. Um, Fillmore Slim spoke about the lady getting killed by the Zodiac killer and how it affected him because the law came in and got him and made him, man. Listen, man, that's why I say another reason why I respect Fillmore Slim. I respect Fillmore Slim because after his bitch got killed by the Zodiac killer, do you not understand that when his bitch got killed by the motherfucking Zodiac killer, that the police went and got Fillmore and made him look at the remains of the bitch? You know what I mean? And say, look, yeah, she wouldn't have got killed if it wasn't for you. This is what happened. This is what happened fucking with you. You know what I mean? This is what happened. She's fucking with you and she ended up getting killed. Yeah, this is what happened, Fillmore. She dead. You know? And for Fillmore to still stand tall through it all, you know, bitch getting killed by the Zodiac killer, and then the police sitting over there trying to fuck with his mind like that. Come on, man. Made that nigga look at the remains of what was left of the bitch. You know what I mean? Goddamn, nigga. I mean, goddamn. Man, goddamn. You know what I mean? But let me tell you this. I got to slide this in. If the police ever, thank you, gang. That ain't nothing but the spirit of this game. Put it on my heart to tell you because one of y'all might end up having a bitch that get killed one day. Sad, but it's true. You know, it happens. There was a P, which I spoke on, I believe, on IG Live, but there was a P out of Chicago. You know what I mean? It was a P out of Chicago, you know what I mean, that was having money like a motherfucker. Okay? This P was checking it. You know what I mean? Really doing his thing. This particular pimp that I'm talking about, he stayed 3 houses down from Oprah. Okay? Then, yeah. This is when they were staying on Lakeshore Drive. Okay? So anybody that know the city of Chicago, you have to be checking it like a motherfucker to be staying on Lakeshore Drive. Period. You got to be having some money if you stand on Lakeshore Drive, nigga. Real talk. So his pimping was elite. He was pimping on the elite level. No, it wasn't Bert. Matter of fact, this particular P that I'm talking about, he was actually having more money than Bert at the time. Bert was having his money doing his thing, but this particular P that I'm talking about, no. They was on two different levels. And the P that I'm speaking on had some thieves, and not that many, but he didn't need many with what he had going on. And this particular bitch that he had was called Rolex Jessica. Okay? And she was a stealing motherfucker. And plus, this particular P, he was presiding over escort services. He was really doing his thing. Okay? One particular night when she was endeavoring to, seduce and reduce a trick for everything that he got, she was getting his ass. I don't know what transpired, so I'm not going to add anything. But bottom line is, the trick ended up, getting into a discrepancy with the bitch. He must have found out that the bitch was endeavoring to steal from him. And because of that, yeah, you guessed it. The trick ended up killing the bitch. He killed her. He killed that bitch, man. You know what I mean? And because P was so emotional over his bitch being killed, he called the police. He called the police. And, when you're emotional and you allow your emotions to govern your actions, you are going to do some things contrary to wisdom. He called the police, and when he called the police came to his mansion. Okay? And when they came into the mansion, they seen all the shit this nigga had in the mansion. They seen the shit that he had in his house. They like, man, wait a minute. White bitch with a nigga in a mansion. She get killed. Solicitation, prostitution is on her name. Her arrest record shows that she's been arrested for prostitution. So she's a prostitute, staying with this nigga, and they live in a lavish lifestyle. She got killed. This don't look right. Jury in here. Suits in here. Some exotic shit in here. This nigga pimping. And they sat up there and investigated that nigga and found out incriminating things, and they locked his ass up. They locked his motherfucking ass up. He ended up losing 8 or 9 years of his life. They took everything from him. He lost the bitch, lost the mansion, lost his money, and worst of worst, he can't even come to the States right now. Why he can't come to the States right now? Because I think he was never supposed to be here anyway. He's stuck in Jamaica. He can't even come out here. So you lose the bitch, you lose your house, you lose your money, you lose all your materialistic things, and you can't come back to the States no more. You're banned, and you're in Jamaica. Boy, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. You know what I mean? Can't come back to the States, lost his mansion, lost his money, bitch is gone. I said all that to show you the consequence of emotionally reacting. When you emotionally react instead of mentally, there's consequences. When you sit up there, you understand emotionally react and allow your heart to get into the driver's seat of your life is going to drive you to a location called nowhere fast. And that's where it took him. Nowhere. Now he can't even come back to the States. Every now and then the pimp will send him a jug. Every now and then he'll knock a bitch on social media. You know what I mean? Career flatline. Gone. Never be what it was. As Pac said, long and forgotten. Hit that like button right now, man. Come on, man. Stop playing with me. Hit that like button. So it pays to mentally respond and not emotionally react. Look at the circumstance with Dre losing his brother, Shay being killed by the police. Don't you understand that Dre could have gotten his feelings and stirred up the emotions of black people, which are an emotional, passionate people, and they would have came all together on one accord to basically sit up there and kill anything that was moving. But instead of Dre making a decision under his emotions, allowing his emotions to govern him and compel him to do something contrary to wisdom, he allowed his infinite mind to create a movement that not only would be a blessing to him, but be a blessing to the people. And that's why I tell you, man, to support Not This Time movement, you know what I mean, by Dre, because it's not just for him, it's for the liberation of our people. Anybody fighting for liberation of our people that's fighting against police brutality, we need to get into a continuity of supporting them. Period. So, you know, it is on there. But getting back to this game, man. You know what I mean? Fillmore was scared to go to the funeral because he didn't know how the family would react. So he sent money and flowers to the family. You know what I mean? When Fillmore basically, you know what I mean, the bitch that got killed, you know what I mean, by the Zodiac killer, Lady Day. He didn't go attend the funeral because he was afraid, which is very understandable under those circumstances. So Fillmore just sent money and flowers, man. You know what I mean? Could you imagine having somebody, you know what I mean, that you pimping on, that you got feelings for, and she get her life taken away? You know what I mean? She get her life taken away and she gone. Police sit up there and show you her remains. You don't know how the family will take it. You know what I mean? Crazy. Hold on. One thing I would say that Dennis Hoff said, he's gone, as you know, rest in peace to him. And he lived a very, very extraordinary life, especially in the square lane. Dennis lived a lot. All of the pussy that you could think of, he's had it. He's enjoyed himself. He lived a very lavish life. You know what I mean? Dennis did his thing, man. He was having money. All right. But one thing that he did say that had me dying laughing, I said, wow. But he said, I want to stay here. He was referring to the ranch. I want to stay here to my dying day. I want to live to be 100 and hope that I go out having a heart attack, having the best piece of pussy that I've ever had. And I know a lot of you tricks and squares like, man, I could agree with that. I'm not going to argue with you. But that's what he said. I want to stay here, meaning the ranch, and I want to live to be 100. And I hope I go out having a heart attack, having the best piece of pussy that I've ever had. That's how he wanted to go out. Unfortunately, he didn't go out like that. But that's how he wanted to go out. But I remember him when he was speaking, saying one thing that I liked, that when Dennis was speaking, he said that you have articulate, educated women that's working in the ranch. You know, these women come from two-parent homes. They're educated, but instead of working at Bank of America, you know, and getting that little $800, they endeavoring to get $8,000. So that gave confirmation to my point. Don't categorize All of the women that profess to be hoes and prostitutes and say that everybody got raped, everybody got molested, everybody was involved in incest. That's not true, because we have a large portion within that population of women who were not raped, who were not molested. These women simply saw the probability of them making a lot of currency doing that versus sitting over there going to this school, getting this degree, and then once you get this, you're making the same amount of money as the individual with a high school diploma. You know what I mean? Everybody didn't, oh, I was raped, I was molested, oh, incest. Stop trying to make the whole game look like that. You make yourself a fool. You have women that come from two-parent homes, religious backgrounds, that graduated from college, like my mother, having a bachelor's degree in education. You know what I mean? You have a lot of women who basically had the best of backgrounds. So a woman having education and coming from a two-parent home, having her father in the house and all of that shit, that's fine and lovely. But that doesn't mean that just because she has her father in her life, just because she goes to church and sing Christian songs, you know what I mean, that does not mean that she's not going to go out there, you understand me, and find somebody that she finds mentally intriguing and he introduces her to the lifestyle. Or maybe she says, you know, I don't want to be a street whore. I don't want to be on that level. If I'm going to do it, I want to be professional. I want to be upscale. I want to be elite. So I got to be in an escort, or I got to be in this or this or that. That's some of their mindset. But either way, they're still selling pussy. And a lot of these women would sell pussy if you could create a way where things basically look safe. The reason why a lot of these women are not selling pussy right now, and they really want to, is because they're afraid to go to the trap. They're afraid, a lot of them are afraid their mama might see them, their family might see them, church members might see them, somebody that know them will see them. Or, you know what I mean, being afraid because of the stories that they heard on the news or through a friend and all of that bullshit. But if it wasn't for that, they would have been selling pussy. They would have been selling pussy. You know what I mean? Get out of that shit. Oh, man, she got to be raped, you know, molested. You know, she got to go through a certain amount of abuse. Man, that's bullshit. You got bitches that like to fuck. You like bitches that like to suck dick. You like bitches that like to sit up there and throw it back. You know what I mean? You got bitches that love that shit. So getting paid for it, you know, and making a lot of money doing it versus working at Walgreens. Hey man, if that bitch could toss that ass back and come up at the same time, yeah, she is going to throw that ass back, throw it in a circle, instead of basically sitting over there working at your Albertsons or Jewels. Yep. So motherfuckers need to stop categorizing the whole fucking game. You know, she got to be raped. She got to be molested. She got to go through a certain... Man, stop it. No, she don't. Right. Big Drew know what he talking about. Blessings to bro. But yeah, man, stop categorizing this game, trying to judge the whole population by the bad, sad representation that they showed on television, giving you a false depiction and vision and definition of what this shit really is. I'm not saying that it don't exist, but don't put everybody in that shit, because when you do that, you fuck up. All right. Okay. Street. Yeah, Sir Captain did speak on one of his women back in the day getting killed in Miami. And that's why when you look, you know, at Sir Captain, he had on that little chain and it said Donna underneath it. The Donna bitch is the one that got killed in Miami. You know what I mean? At that time, he said that he still think about it to this day. Notice how you got Bud that lost his bride, Fillmore Slim. You got, you know what I mean, Sir Captain. All of these niggas that basically lost the bride, you didn't see them acting like they emotionalists. You didn't see them acting heartless. You know what I mean? That shit that you seen, them Oscar Award performances that you seen from these male actresses professing to be pimps, that's all they did was profess to be a pimp. They don't know nothing about this game, man. You know what I mean? Come on now. Especially if you got a woman that love you for you, she like you for you. She not just into the image of who she think you is, but she's actually into you, your individuality, your personality. She's intrigued with your intellectual capabilities. Come on, man. She like your identity as a person. How could you not have love for a woman like that? Please. You know how hard it is? I don't even know how guys do that. I don't even know how guys go from being with a hoe and being with a woman who wasn't in the lifestyle with them. It's like, how do I go from a woman who made, or women who made countless sacrifices for me, and then go to with a woman? Now, these women made countless sacrifices for me for years. And instead of trying to reconcile with them or get somebody else that can produce the same behavior, I leave that and I get with a woman who never made any of these sacrifices. And a lot of y'all, let me kill this too, because a lot of you niggas, man, get on my goddamn nerves. All you old sassy, male Jezebel, sissy poo ass niggas. You know what I mean? Keep your Me Too movement ass out my motherfucking comment section. But let me say this to you too. I love my brother, okay? I love Dre, all right? When I say the things that I say, that's not a diss to Dre. One dumbass nigga got up in the comment section like, yeah, you know, you be sneak dissing Dre, and nigga, I'm from motherfucking Chicago. Nigga, sneak diss. Have you seen the videos that I've did in time where people, nigga, sneak diss? What do you mean? Ask anybody that know me. The shit that I say on the internet, any of them niggas I say in their presence, and they know that. I ain't check move residents. Them niggas know where I stay. They know I'm worse in person. So with that being said, you know, all of that, you know, trying to sit up there and roast Dre, no. Now, what I will say is, Dove made a sacrifice that most hoes in the game wouldn't even make for their pimp right now. If most of these so-called hoes right now, if the pimpin' was in need of a kidney, them bitches would blow up. If he sat up there and say, baby, I need your kidney, or bitch, you know what I mean, what's happening? The bitch either gonna blow up and choose up. Like, nigga, you want a little bit too much for me. So Dove has done something that majority of the brides in the game wouldn't even do. So, and I can even talk about other countless sacrifices that she made, because ever since she been with him, she been with him. You know, so I'm that's no diss to Dre. But one thing that you must understand is, by me being a watchman of this game, which I am, you know what I mean? I must encourage us to stay with us, because the women, after they start looking at things and, you know, putting things in perspective within their little feelings and mind, they gonna say within themselves, look at this, okay, look at this guy. Okay, that's a king to them. Okay, he's a legend to them. All the pimps love this guy. But he's married to a square. You gotta understand, a bitch don't think like we think. Okay? A bitch don't give a fuck about a bitch making a sacrifice, because at the end of the day, after all them profound speeches and shit, a bitch gonna be like, I don't give a fuck about that kidney. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Bitch still ain't sell no pussy. I'm telling you this game. I'm not saying everybody, but you got a great population of women that's gonna be like, she still ain't no, she still wasn't doing no harm. So when we have somebody who's highly recognized and loved dearly within the game, and this individual is married to a woman who was never in the game, it creates some bullshit within the minds of these bitches. So that's why I have to encourage us to remain with us. Just like it was an abomination for the Israelites to marry the Gentiles, it is an abomination for us to leave us. I can't decide what people in the yesteryears did. That's on them. But those who follow my teachings, we need to stay among us. Now, if you could get you a square bride with a great career, you know, that's just like if Oprah said, it hit me tonight, and she said, Sin, I want you to quit that pimping, and it's time for us to get married. I'm going to say, baby, I've been waiting all my life, you know what I mean, for you to sit up there and make this proposal. And my women gonna understand exactly what the fuck I'm doing. Because everything that I do is not just beneficial to me, it's beneficial for us. It's beneficial to the game. So if Oprah want to sit up there and get at me, or she see this video, let Oprah know that she got action at this game, man. You know what I mean? Saying it's really time for you to put that down, and it's time for you to sit down with me. We need to talk about our future, baby. I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, this shit getting old. You know what I mean? And I've been thinking about you. You know what I mean? All my life. You know what I mean? Real talk. You know what I mean? That's how I know we both in the spirit of love and following the spirit of God, simply because you giving confirmation to the information, baby, that was already in the location of my head. I appreciate you. This ain't nothing but confirmation of what the spirit did already told me. Hey man, let's touch and agree on that. So, after everybody, I told you he ain't no pimp. I told you that nigga ain't no pimp. Y'all was sharing his videos. Y'all was liking on all that nigga videos. And look at the nigga. Now he married to Oprah. Look at this nigga, man. That nigga ain't no pimp. And must understand, I'm an individual that is in love with this game. So anything that I do is going to benefit the game. You best to believe that if I get involved with Oprah, damn near every real pimp that I know of and don't know of, they're about to get out of jail. They're going to have something to come to, and if they can't come to home, they're going to have something on their books. Okay? If I'm involved with Oprah, it's going to be a lot of pimps taken care of. I'm looking out for the game, nigga. I'm not in that little shit that you niggas think that's pimping. That's why the game blessed the game with me. Because that little shit you niggas was talking about wasn't even about nothing. You niggas ain't even intelligent enough to talk about this pimping. Be quiet. We got too many niggas that think they supposed to be spokesmen for the game. You not even articulate enough to speak for this game. Sit your dumb ass down. You stuttering. You speaking in tongues that ain't even, you don't even profess spirituality. Like, be quiet. Hush. So my grandmother used to say, hush, child. You know what I mean? So I'm looking out for the game. I get involved with Oprah, you best to believe the pimping about to be on. Okay? Don't be surprised I get involved with Oprah. Freeze is retiring. A lot of pimps gonna be retired. I'm making niggas retire. All my loved ones and niggas that I'm taking them out of the line of fire. Yeah, nigga, you know what I mean? We elevating to another level of this shit, nigga. We ain't, We're not gonna put ourselves, in a position to lose our motherfucking freedom no more. We taking this game and we taking it to a whole nother level. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Hey, P, stop yelling at that bitch. P, stop yelling at that bitch, man. Let her have that little tired ass 400 that she's sitting over there laughing about because she know that your bills need to be paid. Nigga, I'm with Oprah. Nigga, we on. Fuck that bitch. It's nothing to a pimp. You know what I mean? I could just call certain people. I don't know what it is, man. You know what I mean? This bitch just getting on my goddamn nerve. P, fuck that bitch. Fuck all of that shit, man. Meet me at such and such, such and such. Nigga, we on. You know what I mean? The game is on. I'm about to sit up there and retire pimps. Then I'm about to leave a wealth of information, create something for the new generation of pimps coming up. You know what I mean? A school for this ism. So the young pimps is going to be speaking different vernaculars, going to different countries, you know what I mean? Knocking bitches left and right, speaking the languages fluently and eloquently like only the pimpin' can do. You know what I mean? Educating the pimpin' on life. And man, please, you put me in that type of position, nigga. I'm a blessing to the game. That's what people don't understand. I'm just a blessing to the game. You know what I mean? Yeah, Player D, you know what I mean? But just let the bitch know. Matter of fact, after this video, I'm getting in Oprah DM. I'm putting in my shot. And now they got the video call too. I'm about to sit up there and call Oprah. You know what I mean? What's happening? What's up? Matter of fact, I might even do this. Hold on. This is what I'm gonna do. while y'all playing with me, I'm going to sit up there after this video. I'm going to call Oprah and I'm going to have this plan. What's going on with it? You know what I mean? Yeah. Oprah gonna hit that in the background. You know what I mean? I enjoyed, you know what I mean, everything that you've ever done. You know what I mean? And if I sit up there and knock Oprah, I don't want to hear nothing from you niggas. You niggas be quiet. Hush up. You niggas be, you know what I mean? Oh man, that ain't pimping. All right, nigga, whatever, nigga. Yeah, fuck it. I ain't no pimp, man. Whatever, man. Just leave me alone, man. I'm retiring niggas and I'm creating, you understand me, new things for all the young up and coming pimps. Yeah. See, that's why the enemy don't want me to be in power, because I don't want to just brag about my power. I want to give power to the powerless. That's the difference. All right, getting back to this game. I got to get out of La La Land. Gorgeous Dre, when he said these words, he was facing 2 counts of pandering. Like, listen, of course you know that, you know how hard it is for the Hughes brothers to get inside the CCDC? You know what I mean? The Hughes brothers was able to get inside of CCDC. That was a blessing. And that's why I love Dre, because Dre sat up there and he was facing 2 counts of pandering, 2 counts of living off the earnings of a prostitute, 2 counts of living, 2 counts of living with a prostitute, and 2 counts of living off the earnings of a prostitute, 1 count of first-degree kidnapping, and 1 count of child endangerment. Those who's ever been in Nevada before, you already know the severity. You already know how serious this shit is. Let me say that again for motherfuckers that don't know. He was facing 2 counts of pandering, 2 counts of living with a prostitute, 2 counts of living off the earnings of a prostitute, 1 count of first-degree kidnapping, and 1 count of child endangerment. Oh, man, hold on. Yeah, you got to go, homie. Goodbye. Come on, Maj. Y'all got to be on y'all shit. I don't need any of them nature boy type of niggas to be getting in my comment section. But kidnapping, you know what I mean, that's a life sentence. A lot of shit in the state of Nevada, you know what I mean, is a life sentence. Okay, I don't know if you knew this or not, but say for example, if I take my dick out, I'm in the alley, I take my dick out, I'm walking with, you know what I mean, somebody or whatever, and I decide to piss, and I couldn't find somewhere, you know, where it had a restroom in, so I go to an alley and go by the little electricity pole, you know, put my dick over there and piss over there and shit. And while I got my dick out, you know what I mean, blessing the ground, the police see me with my dick out and they can arrest me for that. I forgot it's either 5 or 10 to life. Okay? Being naked, nude, and all of that shit, they don't play that in Nevada. That's a life sentence. You facing 5 to 10 to life, one of the two. No, that's not what they call it. I'm not calling it public. No. It's something else. But you're facing 5 to 10 to life. They might have changed it. It might be higher than that now. But yeah, man, it's very costly. Indecent exposure. No, bro, they was calling it something else, man. I know all the shit y'all talking about, but it was something else that Nevada was calling it. And it's either 5 to 10 for life. Well, put it like this. In 2008, it was 5 and 10 to life. Now, it might be more than that. Might be more than that, man. Kidnapping Most niggas that I knew, they got a count a allegation for kidnapping. Them niggas, they didn't even have bail. You know what I mean? Most niggas that I knew of in CCDC, you know what I mean, that was locked the fuck up. Nah, them niggas didn't even have bail. If you was locked up for kidnapping, you didn't even have bail. It's only a few motherfuckers that I knew, you know what I mean? I don't know why but that's just to keep that shit all the way 100. Let me do this. Hold on. Y'all gotta make sure these comments are showing that. There we go. But you know what I mean? 5 to life, 10 to life for some shit like that. And let's say if the individual got on some drugs. Like me, I ain't never been high before. So let's say, okay, I get on some drugs and I'm high out of my mind. I'm outside, you know what I mean, butt ass naked. Just outside, just tripping. And they catch me. Yes, that is, I'm facing 5 or maybe 10 or possibly more than that because it was 5 to 10 to life back in 08. It might be higher than that now. Yeah, hit the like button. Those who haven't hit the like button right now. I know it's Saturday and that people have things to do, but hit that like button right now. Hit that share button right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, Nevada don't be playing, man. Kidnapping ain't nothing to play with, man. So as soon as I heard Dre say that kidnapping, now, at the end when I first heard the chorus, I didn't know the seriousness of it. But man, once I've had my own experiences and seen individuals had that kidnapping on them and they didn't have no bail, they was freaking out. They was freaking out. Hold on. Before I get into what Dre said, because I'm going to end it off with Dre. Yeah, I'm going to end it off with Dre. But one thing I like what K-Red said, when it's said and done, a pimp ain't got no disability coming, no unemployment coming. A pimp ain't got nothing but a goddamn thing coming but what he got out the game. A pimp ain't got nothing coming but what he got out the game. No disability, no unemployment, no 401k, none of that. No dental, none of that. So you have to pimp wisely. Instead of trying to impress other people that are broke, instead of trying to sit up there and buy this ring and chain and break yourself to a chain, because a lot of you niggas have broken yourself to the chain, broken yourself to a car, broken yourself to clothes. Seeing what you mean by that. If you only got, and I've seen it done so many times, if you only got $15,000, the bitch just hit for 15. You didn't get the bitch anything. You take the 15,000 and you sit up there and spend the whole complete 15,000 on basically, getting in the S550 or a 5, yeah, pretty much, because I've seen it done so many times. And you break yourself to the car. I don't know if I've seen it at Buffer, but you spend $15,000 trying to get in this little S550 or whatever, so you can impress your friends and appear to look like you're winning, which you're not. You know what I mean? The bitch basically caught that little 15,000 on some fluke shit. Most of y'all ain't got game like that. The bitch, was just at the right place at the right time. And you just so happen to get blessed by the game with 15,000. But instead of stacking up, most of you are going to buy some jewelry. You're going to buy some clothes. You're going to try to get into this little whip. The bitch end up flaking on you. That was your only bitch. Now you struggling with the car note. You know what I mean? Now you sitting over there calling pimps, asking for a jug. See, I'm 34 years old. It's crunch time. It's the fourth quarter for me. You know what I mean? I don't need to be doing things to appear, you know what I mean, like I'm rich. Because I'm not. I'm broke as fuck. You know what I mean? Um, so no, that's not, people just leave it alone. I'll find it myself. But you know, 15,000. Bitch just hit for 15,000, and I throw it in the trash can by going to go get some jewelry. You know what I mean? Or go get a car that I'm paying the car note on. I thought this bitch was solid. Now she gone. Now I'm up 3-4 days in the S550 driving around trying to have me a new bitch, and then getting the car repoed because I couldn't keep up with the payments. I've seen this happen too many times. You know what I mean? So with that being said, when you get blessed in the game, whether it's 15,000, 100,000, 200, 5, because everybody gonna get an opportunity to swing that bat one time. You know what I mean? Everybody gonna have an opportunity to shine in the game. Everybody gonna have an opportunity to either hit a home run or strike out. And most of you are going to strike out because you endeavoring to impress other broke niggas and show other broke niggas. Hold on, let me restart that. You trying to impress and show other broke niggas that you ain't broke. And you're going to end up like most of the pimps, because one of the statements that Danny Brown made at the end of the film was, the only regret that I have is not saving any money. I don't know why that didn't stick in people's head. The only regret that I have is not saving any money. They got a lot of beautiful pictures. The niggas had pictures of, man, they was doing it big, baby. They was doing it, get my word. They was doing it big. They was. And that Rolls Royce looked nice. Damn, that Cadillac was nice. Damn, look at your jewelry, P. Didn't save no money. And when that Euroclidine came, when them situations and tribulations came, and them bitches blew up, and you didn't put yourself in position, you don't got, you didn't work out at the gym, you physically not together, you didn't save no money, financially you're not together. The materialistic things that you preside over because you don't got no money, now you got to pawn it so you can have some money. Then when you get some money, that ends up running out because you're going through a bunch of fag-ass bitches. You sitting over there having fly-by-nights. You charging here and there. You know what I mean? But you ain't got nothing solid. So the money that you got from pawning your jewelry or selling that car or cars, that eventually ran out because you never knocked anything solid. I'm talking about this game right now. Those that know this game know that I'm not lying. It's a repeated cycle. It's a repeated cycle that I've seen happen time and time and time again. P sold both of his Cadillacs. He pawned the Rolex. He pawned, you understand me, the bracelet. Now he racked up. He go to another state, stay there, staying at a 5-star hotel. You know what I mean? Trying to knock something. End up getting this old fag-ass stripper that's on drugs. That didn't work out. He put in more effort than the effortless bitch put in effort. That didn't work out. Go to another state, knock another bitch. She older. She want to tell him how he should have done things and how he should do things. I've seen it over and over again. While you are in position, young pimp, you need to take care of your business. Stop trying to look rich and endeavor to become wealthy. Save your money. All them niggas talking that investing shit, that's what's up. But one thing that we do know is that when you save your money, that's promise. If I invest in something that's a sure thing, guess what? It appears to be a sure thing. Or 9 out of 10, the The probability of hitting, it's a good chance. But even in that investing shit, you gambling. You know what I mean? But when you allow, I know it's hard for a black man to watch his money grow, especially when you're in the pimp game. You know what I'm saying? But try to put yourself in a position where if you got 5 hoes that you could take one bitch money, you can take care of necessities. You can even take care of some desires. I'm talking about hoes. You know, hoes is getting money. I ain't talking about them little prostitutes that's giving them small distributions. I'm talking about hoes. You know what I mean? Real hoes that's complying and applying. I'm talking about real hoes that's complying and applying instructions, you know what I mean, of a pimp every day. Real hoes, okay? So if you got some real hoes, you know what I mean, and you got, you know, a stable of bitches that's getting some money, hey man, it'd be a blessing, man, if you could at least take, you know, 4, I mean, if you can't save 4 or 3 traps, you know what I mean, save your money, man. Save your money. It was a situation, I ain't gonna speak on the situation because I was a blessing to somebody else, and unless they speak on the situation, I ain't gonna bring it up. Y'all know how I do. Certain situations that I was a blessing to, the only reason why y'all know about it is because the other individual spoke on it. But it was one situation that the game blessed me to be in a position to be a blessing to this individual, to help them, you know, be blessed. And I never could have done that if I wasn't saving money. If I was not saving money, and if I was like everybody else in the game, trying to have all the likes and shares on Instagram, you know, because right now, just to be real, I'm not going to say too much, but a lot of shit that people been saying, it's very laughable. It's laughable. I'm not going to, you know, get into the ego swapping and all of that shit, but people that know me know how I'm doing. So that's why it's no reason for me to go out of my way to prove that I'm having money, because the truth of the matter is I'm not. I'm broke. You know what I mean? I'm broke. Even that which people be like, okay, Sin, I see you. It ain't shit. I can do so much more. So, you know, with that being said, man, save your money. Okay? And then if you look at the movement that I was endeavoring to create, and still, you know, it'll go on just with other people in the future, I wanted to put all my P partners in position to have their own website. I wanted all my P partners to be able to give consultation to their following. So you checking it from your hoes, you checking it from your consultation from the website. Whenever you go live, people love the game that you conveying and they show an appreciation for it. You're a partner with YouTube, your videos is monetized. You're knocking bitches off YouTube, you know what I mean, or whatever. I wanted to create something that was going to be not only a blessing to my P partners, but by my partners being in position, they was being able to be a blessing to others in the game and outside of the game. And if any of my P partners ever had financial difficulty, they didn't need me. They didn't no longer need me or any other P to be a blessing to them while they was holeless and doleless, because they had their own consultation going on. They had their own monetized videos going on, and they had their own YouTube live donations going on. So they wasn't in need of a jug from the pimping. So when I heard somebody, not going to say their name, but I just have to say that statement was very idiotic when the one individual said, I'd rather live off the game than YouTube donations. Idiot. If you are talking about the game and people are giving donations because of their appreciation for the information that you conveying within the video, how is that not living off the game, idiot? If you write a book or you do a video, you talking about the game, people receive the game within the video, and to show gratitude, they give you a motherfucking multitude. How you not living off the game? Explain that. See, that's why I say dumb people sound smart to other dumbass motherfuckers. Now you bring a motherfucker around with a brain, that sounds very stupid. But because motherfuckers ain't got me in their life no more, they can, talk about whatever stupid shit they say out of their mouth now. And a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about because you follow certain individuals and you know since I ain't been around them, you don't hear that wisdom no more. You don't really hear that fire no more. You know what I mean? Content ain't, it ain't hitting on nothing. People going on IG Live. I would have never allowed any of my partners to go on a certain way. Like I didn't know, just like when BD my nigga. That's somebody right now. If I get into it with anybody, he gonna ride. He's a rider. He a real nigga and he's a rider. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? He'll sit up there, you understand me, and put hands on the nigga, man. You know what I mean? So just to keep that thing all the way. But if I was around P, I would have said, wait, don't go live right now. Why? Because the pimping always got to be presentable before it's accepted. But I didn't know. I knew about something that had transpired, but I didn't know that P's teeth was missing. If I had known that, I wouldn't even have done that. I would have told him to come on at another time. But due to the fact that we had already did the live and it was already out there, might as well let it out now. But now that he's in position, he's getting ready to take care of that, and you're going to see him with his teeth and all of that, But we always want to make the pimping look presentable, impeccable. You know what I mean? Infallible. You know what I mean? Dynamos. You know what I mean? That's what we want. We want that dynamos pimping. You know what I mean? That infinity and beyond in another galaxy. You know what I mean? Making a bitch reach all type of mental climaxes that she go on a mental safari within the conversations that we have with any woman within any lifestyle. From appearance to conversation, everything representing this pimping on every level. Let's go higher. So I like when K-Red said that because that was the truth. Shantae Parker said that when you get in the game, you get in the game trying to establish yourself in position where you can roll over and do something different. If you can't do that, then you're going to wind up old. Yeah, you're going to end up an old man with gray hair and with no hoes, no money, and a bunch of war hero stories. So basically what Tate was saying, if you haven't done the things to put yourself in position, at the end of the day, you're going to be another old nigga with gray hairs, no hoes, no money, talking about what you did in 2018, and now it's 2041. Peace, stop it. I like when Filmo, this show you the love that Filmo Slim had for the game. Filmo Slim said, that's just the love I have for the game. I've been to 4 penitentiaries, and I have no regrets. I love that. I've been to 4 penitentiaries. In other words, I've been through pain. I done lost the most valuable thing other than something that's more valuable than money. I lost time out of my life. I've been through ups and downs and turnarounds, but through everything that I've been through, I don't got one regret. I respect Filmo. When you're around Filmo, listen. Use your ears. Speak in the language of silence. Endeavor to get the history. Instead of making statements, ask questions so you can get knowledge on what transpired before you was even born. That's how you get the game. But you will miss the game putting on an Oscar award performance like most niggas do, acting like you already got the game. The reason why I was able to give you shit outside of the film that the film didn't talk about is because when Dre was talking, I was listening. When I was on the phone with Filmo Slim and Gangsta Brown, I was listening. The shit you niggas read in the book, you gotta understand, man. I done had an innumerable amount of 4 to 5 hour conversations with Dre. So I know a lot of shit. You know what I mean? You have, exactly, like the words say, Clyde, swift to hear, slow to speak. Okay. Trying to see if anybody else, because yeah, I'm about to end it with Dre. I think I said everybody. Oh yeah, I gotta put in Bishop. I got to put in Bishop before I sit up there and end it with Dre. Let me sit up there. Bishop said, "You already know what Bishop said. I was told by one of the greatest pimps that ever lived. His name is God. That if you know what you got, then you ain't got much." I'm going to say that again. Bishop said, I was told by one of the greatest pimps that ever lived. His name is God. And I was told that if you know what you got, then you ain't got much. You know what I mean? I was messing with drugs. I was on the PCP. I was doing all that. God showed me a vision that he really exists. It was things that were going on for years, this Christianity stuff that people always talked about. But, you know, once God showed me a vision that he really exists and had me get on the phone and call them girls and say that it was over for me. And they sat up there and said, "Why, Daddy?" I said, "I don't know, but God don't want me to do it no more." Hey, that shit used to have me dying laughing. When he say, and them girls say, "Why, Daddy?" I don't know. Oh my God, that's my part. That is my part. Why, Daddy? I don't know. Because I don't know. But he don't want me to do it no more. I was told by one of the greatest pimps that ever lived. His name is called God. Had the Al Green playing. I even pastored a church for 3 years. You know what I mean? I quit smoking. I quit sitting over there doing the PCP. Once God showed me a vision that he really exists, you know what I mean? I quit all of that, man. I even pastored a church for 3 years. Oh, you already know what it is. Blessings to Cicero. And you already know, man, blessings to that P, that pink Rolls Royce driving, business presiding ass motherfucker that everybody called in the streets God. The one that started the church. And if you want the history about God, I don't like calling another man God, but that's what they called him. So if you ever see me writing his name, it's not to be disrespectful, but those that call themselves God, it's always a little g. Because technically you are a God. It's just that I don't want people to get it mixed up that I'm making you equivalent to something else, but you are a God. Once Adam and the second Adam, which is his wife, she didn't become Eve until after sin occurred in the garden, Genesis 5:2. But her name was Adam first, the two Adams. And after sin came in the garden, sin changed everything. Sin gave them knowledge. That which they couldn't see, they now could see. That which they couldn't touch, they now could touch. Things that they didn't know, now that they know. Sin changed their whole vision. Sin changed their whole perspective. SIN set up there and changed their whole outlook about life. Sin did that. But we'll get into that later on. Look at Clyde talking about preach. That which they couldn't see, that which they was blind in, sin gave them vision. That which the people was in mental confinement, sin came and gave enlightenment. If you look at both of my names, they do the same thing. When you look at sinful, when you look at sin, and you go in Genesis, I saved that for another video. Channel ain't big enough yet. You know, I'll give you the significance about that. But then when you even look at my government name, when you look at Philip, and you go into the 8th chapter of the book of Acts, there was a man by the name of Simon who bewitched the people. He had the people deceived. But when Philip came preaching and teaching and opened up the eyes of the people no longer followed Simon. Simon actually even followed Philip once he came to Samaria. Do you read it? But it is what it is, man. Getting back to this game, though. You know what I mean? Now I can sit up there and get to Dre. Because I had to end it with him. Because like I told you, Dre said that he was facing 2 counts of pandering, 2 counts of living with a prostitute, 2 counts of living off the earnings of a prostitute, 1 count of first-degree kidnapping, and 1 count of child endangerment. And I told you that the kidnapping is a life sentence in Nevada. If you get into a situation, now this is what I liked about Dre. Pay attention. Dre said this in the worst conditions. This is why I looked at him as a teenager, you know, in awe, because most of the people, even the killers that I knew, man, when niggas got into a bad circumstance, man, they was not them niggas. Those that know me know that I got a cousin in the city of Chicago. He was known for knocking out motherfuckers. He could fight. This particular cousin that I'm talking about used to sit up there and get BD's problems. Okay? But he was murking shit as well. And because he was murking shit, everybody looked at him a certain way. But when he got into trouble, he didn't snitch. But you talking about a nigga crying on the phone and crying crocodile tears. And see, y'all ready to pull the trigger, or you know, you with the physical part, because that's what you into, and you into that shit for different reasons. A lot of you guys was molested, you was raped. So we got a bunch of Me Too movement niggas, you know, claiming to be gangsters, but they really hurt. You know what I mean? You was raped, you was molested, not all of you, you know, and blessings to you. You know, hopefully you receive a peace that passeth all human understanding. You know what I mean? But just keeping that thing, you know, all the way 100, you have a lot of individuals that kill, they ready to fight because they angry and they have a lot of self-hatred. Okay? And you take them same individuals and you put them in a worse circumstance. You take them same, because I always say you'll find out the truth about an individual in the worst of circumstances. And when my cousin was in the circumstance that he was in, and he's known for murking shit, knocking niggas out, all type of shit. You know what I mean? But when that nigga got locked up for his first time, a lot of niggas don't remember. I ain't gonna, you know what I mean? But yeah, bro was crying, man. He was crying. Not that he was scared that anybody was gonna do something to him, but he was just, he didn't want to be in there. He didn't like the food or none of that, so he was crying. You know what I mean? He was crying, man. Now, you take somebody like Dre, and when my cousin was crying, he had to be every bit of, I think, 25 or 26 at the time. And you crying? As many mothers that you'd have made cry? Come on, girl. You know what I mean? And so when I seen somebody like Dre in jail, facing, like he said, you might as well say life, 1,000,000 years. That's what you might as well say. Because that's what he was facing. And for Dre to be in that circumstance and say out of his mouth, if you get into a situation and you get caught for something that you did, you can't cry then. And if they thought that by bringing me to jail was supposed to strip me from being the man that I am, then they're badly mistaken. I'm going to say that. Did you hear that? A motherfucker sitting over there facing life in the worst of circumstances. That's why Jay-Z said up there when he seen Dre, hey man, you was saying some crazy shit up in, what he meant crazy, like nigga, We ain't never seen nobody talk like this in prison. Not saying it ain't never been done, but man, this don't happen all the time. We just seen the coldest of gangsters cry under pressure. And nigga, you talking the same way as if you would talk as if you not locked up. What is this power that you possess? What is it about you that make you feel like you above jail? Why your spirit ain't broken? Why your countenance hasn't fallen? Why do you speak like that? How come you ain't broken? They told you kidnapping. Man, you facing all day. They just took your mansion, man. You don't have this shit no more. How are you able to stand? Is manhood that important? Is the game that important to you? He sat up there and said, if they thought that bringing me to jail was going to strip me from being the man that I am, then they are sadly mistaken. God damn. That's a man. That's a man. That's somebody in the streets that you can fuck with. Whether the dope gang, pimp gang, cracking cars, that's a motherfucker that if he go to jail, he gonna sit his ass down and do his motherfucking time and speak in the language of silence. Yeah, in the language of silence to them people. He is not going to snitch. This is a man. He's in a lion's den, walking around with the lions in an environment that he's never been in before. And he keeping his mouth quiet. GD's done told, BD's done told, Blackstone's done told, Vice Lords done told, MC's done told, Four Corner Hustlers done told, Crips done told, Bloods done told, Pyru's done told. But because your father taught you what a man was, and because you've been indoctrinated with the information of what a man is, you refuse to devalue it. Under any circumstance, that's a motherfucking man. That's why I have the respect that I have for Dre. It ain't just because of the money that he had. It ain't because the bras that he had, the clothes. It's beyond that. Tricks got that. It's the man that he is. The way Dre look at Mel Taylor, that's the way I look at Dre. The way he's in awe and like, wow, shit, goddamn. That's the way I am of Dre. The same way that Farrakhan once looked at Malcolm X, that's the way that I look at Dre. You know what I mean? That is the way that I look at Dre. It go beyond money. It go beyond hoes. It go beyond the materialistic. It's that you have shown me under the worst of circumstances. You have manifested this information in totality. You manifested it when it came to prosperity, and you were shining then. Because there's many that can talk that shit when they having it their way. But if you change the circumstance, and if you make them holus and dolus, and if you take away their currency, and you give them a top ramen soup and lotion and pictures on the wall and a little bed inside with a celly, can he talk that shit then? Because I seen a lot of them same niggas that y'all glorify and be saying, oh, you real P. Yeah, you a real one. You one of the legend. Them the same niggas, man, that when they felt bad or suicidal and all of that, they called me. They called me. I ain't on that, not gonna put no names on it. But niggas cried to me. Niggas. Notice I said niggas, plural. Niggas that's in the game. Niggas that are older than me, but I was the big brother. Cried to me. Boo-hooing over certain situations. And by me having the ministry that I have, by me having the capabilities that I have, the knowledge of this game, the knowledge of the word, I mean, just this game, I was able to pick my brothers up when they were down. And that's what we supposed to be able to do. This game. Because I've seen a lot of niggas that once they went holeless and doleless and money wasn't coming in like it was in the yesteryears, they was contemplating about leaving the game. They was contemplating, about they should have never been in it. I've actually have niggas actually ask me off the record, do you ever think about how your life would have been if you would have never gotten to the game? That's how depressed they was. So when, I see an individual presenting themselves to be one way on the internet, but I know you in real life, I know that when you're faced with certain situations, you're no different than the women that I preside over and have presided over. It's hard for me to see you as this Oscar Award image that you're giving right now. Because when my mother passed away, I was at the lowest of my low. But I didn't let nobody else know. I spoke to Dre, I spoke to Freeze, but they even tell you, you know what I mean? I manifested my depression, and I didn't get on no drugs and all of that. But I was very depressed when my mother died. That was my best friend. But I didn't call none of them niggas, man. Crying at them and all of that shit. Nah, hell no. Plus, I know we ain't cut from the same cloth. So if we get into it, you'll bring up some shit like that and tell everybody. And that ain't no shit to be telling everybody, because that's my mama. That was my best friend. Love Marita Mayberry still to this day. That was my baby. But, okay, when he said that, he went on to say, I don't believe that pimping and hoeing is a criminal act. I believe that it's immoral before God. But as far as man being the judge of that, I don't think they have the right to judge that. I don't think they have the right. And I'm in total agreement with Dre. I don't think that pimping and hoeing should be a criminal act. I think that simping should be a criminal act, but not pimping. P, what you mean by simping? Deceiving bitches. Having a bitch think that she flying to you or coming to you under false pretenses. Meaning that when she got there, she was under the false pretense that y'all was going to get married. Or y'all was going to be on some LMA shit. Y'all was going to be booed up. But now you forcing her to be holed up. Forcing her against her will. You beating her. You physically forcing this woman to do something that she don't desire to do. This should be against the law. This should be, this should be consequences for that. Beating a woman, forcing her to sell her body against her will, that's not pimping. That is not pimping. That's not pimping at all. So, hold on, man. Hello?
Hi.
Baby, you know I'm live right now, don't you?
Oh, I apologize. I didn't know. No, I didn't.
I know that you didn't know because you take care of business, but always check. Because if you look at your phone, you'll see that I text, because I text everybody, letting everybody know that I'm about to go live, and I don't want no text or no calls unless it's an emergency. But if you check your text message, you will see it.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to talk to you after I get off.
Okay, talk to you later.
All right. But, all of that deception, manipulation, con shit, yes, that should be against the law. That's not pimping. That's con artist shit. That ain't got nothing to do with human trafficking, ain't got nothing to do with this pimping. All of this force and all of that, no. When she dealing with the pimping, she got a choice. A choice. I've been lied on. I ain't never been, you can't leave. Oh my God, what would I do without? Man, stop it. People that know me know that certain things is a joke. Stop playing. You know what I mean? when you with the pimping, you have a choice. The pimping don't force you against your will to hoe. Oh, bitch, you gonna hoe for me. Like, no. Pimping don't even get down like that. So that ain't got nothing to do with this pimping. So yes, I totally agree with Dre saying that I don't think pimping and hoeing is a criminal act. I don't believe it is either. And I like when he said, if it had not been for pimping and hoeing, I would have never been birthed. And I must say that that's even true in my case because you've heard my testimony. You knew what my father was and you knew what my mother was. Some of y'all went to, well, not the people I see in the comment section, but certain people in the game came to my mother's funeral. Certain things wasn't hidden. And one thing I love about my mother, she wasn't no Joseph of Arimathea type of person. She's not in a secret. She's going to testify and glorify God to the highest of her ability. So, people know what my father was and they knew what my mother was. That's not something that they encouraged me to be in, but were they involved at one time? Yeah. Anybody that knew my father? Those that didn't know that about my father, they didn't know my father well. Those that didn't know my mother, they didn't know my mother well. But, hold on. Yeah, I like when Dre said, I lost everything, a big old house. But if it's really, what's really important to you is the things that you live your life for, the man that you being, your character. And if you are willing to take the consequences that go along with whatever life you choose, then I think at the end, if you still have that, then you haven't lost anything. Man, I love that. This nigga sitting up in jail and he said that if you are willing to take the consequences that go along with whatever life you choose, then I think that in the end, if you still have that, then you haven't lost anything. Wow. That was big. Hold on. And what I really love when he said up there, you haven't lost, you know what I mean? Hold on. Oh, thank you, Sonya. I appreciate that, baby. You know what I mean? I love that. Thank you. But, just keeping that thing, you know what I mean, all the way 100, when he sat up there and said, then you haven't lost anything. If you haven't lost being the man that you are, doesn't matter whether I'm innocent or guilty. That doesn't matter. What matters is I haven't lost being a man. Because above the mansion, above them hoes, above the money, above everything that I've ever had, my manhood is above all of that. So no matter what toys you take away from me, what people who you take away that was temporarily in my life, you haven't took nothing away from me. Why? Because I'm still a man. Green papers with dead hypocrites on it, that didn't give me that. I'm a man. So, you can take the mansion away, separate me from the brides and all that type of shit. Hell. And because I'm a man with game, I will basically bring restoration to the situation. I have some money in that shit again. Because of the abundance, that I have of when it comes to this game, everything that I lost, I restore that shit. That's nothing to me. I still got my manhood. So because Dre had that type of mentality, in reality, when they took everything from him that they thought that they took, they didn't take anything from him. All they did was help his legacy. All they did was put Dre in a position where he could have basically empowered others in the future. Do you see the plan of God? Do you see the plan of Yah working in this man's life? That's so beautiful. Even in your down setting. See, a lot of times when we're going through something, and we're in a situation, we so emotional at the time that we can't see that it was the plan of Yah the whole time. It was the plan of the Most High for us to go through these ups and downs and turnarounds the whole time, because through these situations we were being made. If we never had the crucifixion, we'd never had the resurrection. If we never been through a storm, we'd never appreciate the sunshine. If we never sat up there and had storm, rain, and pain, we would have never been able to appreciate joy and serenity, you know what I mean, and just love. That's what made us appreciate that thing. If we never been lied on, we never been, some of us would have never been provoked to be the best us. But it's because of the liars, the haters, the situations, the bad tribulations, the enemy, you know what I mean, the adversary coming against us on every hand, that we learn who the creator was for some of us. Because some of us, God is just a book to you. You know what I mean? God is just in a few passages within a book to you. So he's not real to you because, you know, you ain't had your own experiences. You ain't ever been through nothing. But when you didn't sit up there and been in the belly of the whale, and you got the enemy saying that you never gonna come out the belly of the whale, and the hand of God bring you out of that and bring you back into society, and sit up there and raise you up, and the smut, the allegations that the enemy tried to put on your name, God just sit up there and come through and clean it all up. How could you not believe in the Most High? Everybody calling you a pedophile. Ain't that the man that pimped on a kid? I heard he was pimping on more children than that. Woo! Why they call him Gorgeous Dre? Because he used to work out and do all them things so he could look good for children and stuff. What? Yeah. Heard he was in one of them porno stars and stuff too. When situations happen, it gives the enemy an opportunity to sit up there and get into some evangelism with the criticism on your name and ad-lib. And instead of 20-inch rims, the enemy got 100-inch rims on it. He want to magnify, you know what I mean, what it was, and make 2 + 2 and 5 to the people. And because certain individuals dislike you and hate you, they gonna believe that 2 + 2 is 5 against you. Then you got some people that just don't know. So it took God to redeem you. It took God to give you redemption. It took Yah to sit up there and give you reconciliation. It took Yah to sit up there and lift you up from the beggarly elements of the world and to clean you up. You know what I mean? It took him to do that. And so when certain people try to challenge people who've actually had personal experiences with Yah, you know what I mean, it's very laughable, because no matter what you're saying out of this book or what knowledge you think that you may have, that's not going to fight against personal experiences. Some of y'all going through situations right now in your life, and you're like, why am I going through this? And you can't see that it's that you may know him. The whole situation is for you to know him. That's why he allowed you to go through that. That's why he's allowing you to go through this. In the end, if you sit up there and you see God and you stay before God, he gonna bring you out victorious. Don't be weary and well-doing, for in due season ye shall reap if you faint not. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy coming in the morning. Encourage yourself. You don't wait on nobody to encourage you. Medicate yourself. Give yourself medication to the situation by preaching and teaching to yourself. Build yourself. Reminisce and retrospect upon the things of your life when things were beautiful. God gonna make it more beautiful. Just hold on. You know what I mean? You might got a son, a daughter, you know what I mean, or a cousin, a nephew, a niece that's in a circumstance right now. Always remember, the effectual fervent prayer of the righteous availeth much. You got to stay before God. And always remember that he's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask and think. Is it anything too hard for God? As Luke said, there is nothing impossible for God. So anything that you take to him and you make sacrifices, because as the scripture said, I will withhold no good thing from them that walk upright. And if you've been walking upright, righteously on a daily through that temporarily, you know what I mean, adversity that you're going through, Come on, man. You're going to come through that. Some of y'all going through some sickness in your body. You know what I mean? And I want you stop waiting on a preacher to lay hands on you. You need to believe God for yourself. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Call them things which be not as though they were. Believe God for yourself. That's what Adam had that y'all didn't have, that we didn't have today. Is the fact that he could go to God for himself. The same way I'm talking to you, that's the same way Adam would talk to God. Stop waiting on a YouTube live. Stop waiting on TD Jake's sermons. Stop waiting on Les Brown. Stop waiting till Sunday to hear the minister holler and hoopla, over the pulpit. Reminisce in retrospect about your life and all the battles that he's brung you through. Ain't nothing too hard for God. And honestly, it really ain't a problem no more because I just gave you the solution. Acknowledge him in all thy ways. Lean not to your own understanding. He gonna direct your path. He's your director. He's your protector. He's gonna sit up there and guide you through. So you might got a son that's currently temporarily in jail, in prison right now, that's facing a life sentence, or you might have a loved one that's been convicted and they're in jail currently right now. They're in prison currently right now. But if you sit up there and go before God, and you seek God sincerely, and you ask God, and you sit up there and say, Lord, I don't know how to pray like this one. I don't know how to pray like that one. I don't know all of the scriptures. I don't know that. I'm just coming before you sincerely and earnestly, asking for you to be a blessing to me. I come to you as humbly as I can come to you. I don't know all of the big words. I ain't memorized all of the scriptures. All I know how to do is be real. And I heard that you were real. And I need you to make yourself real to me. And I guarantee you, God is faithful and just, you understand me, to show you that he exists. And for those of you that already know he exists and he has been faithful to you and you've been holding on, remember what the word said in Hebrews. He is not unjust to forget your labor of love. Everything that you've done for the body of Christ, everything, a body that you've been beneficial to, that you've been a blessing to. God see that. You can't beat God at giving. You can't beat God at giving. When you did everything that you did under the S-U-N, the S-O-N of the Father seen everything. You will be blessed. You cannot outdo the Father when it comes to being a blessing. Okay? So, I don't know who I said that to, but you know what I mean, that was put on my heart and mind to be a blessing to you. Take that and build upon. But stop waiting on people to encourage you. Get full of this knowledge. Get full of this inspiration. And when them your rockledons and bad circumstances and situations come, you can encourage yourself. You can lift yourself up. You can pull yourself up. That's what you need. But getting back to it, I like when Dre said that I'm not going to use this situation and say that this is the results of pimping. Thank you, Dre. Because how many OGs you know that once they got locked up and their back was against the wall, now they was talking against cripping. Now they was talking against being a blood. Now they was talking against being a GD, BD, stone and things like that. Because ain't nobody putting no money on their books. Now ain't nobody answering the phone. Now, you know what I mean, they feel like they're not being loved. So now they talking against gang banging because of their circumstances. Because they feel like ain't nobody looking out for them. So because ain't nobody looking out for them and their back is against the wall, now they ready to speak against street life and everything that they once stood up for because they in their feelings. But Dre didn't do that. Do you not know that it was countless people that Dre looked out for in the streets? You know what I mean? It was countless people, you know what I mean, that Dre helped in the streets, that looked out for, took care of them. And when Dre got locked up, I can totally understand why Mel Taylor was upset at these individuals, because these were individuals that Dre helped. This was individuals that Dre was a blessing to. And for you, that Dre was a blessing to, to have racks upon racks. You're doing your thing. And when you was holus and dolus, Dre was a blessing to you, and now he's locked up, and now you just leave him in there messed up. So I can understand the anger of Mel Taylor for that, because he loved his son. Just like my mother knew of individuals that I helped and I was a blessing to. But when I got locked up, them individuals was not trying to answer the phone. Thank you, Tony, for the $2.99, bro. Thank you. Good looking for that. But you know what I mean? I appreciate, thanks for the inspiration. Bro, thank you for the appreciation. Thank you. But just to keep it all the way 100, Dre was doing good within his spirit because Dre wasn't married to the outcome. Okay? That wasn't his thing, what they do. They was too little for him to be thinking about that any damn way. He was thinking about how big he was. He was thinking about how big he was going to be. He didn't care nothing about them individuals not doing what they were supposed to do. Because truth of the matter is, when he did what he did for them, he already knew that these were individuals that wouldn't even return the favor. And I've been there, and I'm still doing that to this day. So I know exactly where he's coming from and what he's still doing today, because I'm doing it. I've done it, and I'm doing it. It's only a few that's going to appreciate you being a blessing. But the last statement that Dre made is, I'm going to say to that 16 and 17, 16 and 17 year old that wants to be a pimp, the chances of him doing it right, the chances of him doing it wrong are very high. And not being successful are very high. The pimp game is a lonely one. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to say to that 16 and 17 year old that wants to pimp, the chances of him not doing it right are very high. And the chances of him not being successful are very high. The pimp game is a lonely one. Listen, today you could be fellowshipping with your P partners. Y'all can be congregating and celebrating and, doing all of that, and that's fine and dandy. But the truth of the matter is that after, after the laughing and after the, fake love has been shown, after all of that, guess what? After all of that, it's still a lonely man's game. And that lonely man's game, I'm gonna have to do a video about that, because it needs to be broken down for understanding. Because a lot of y'all take that as you can't have a friend or a P partner or P partners in the game, and that's not what that meant. At the end of the day, just like in any lifestyle, just like in spirituality, there's something that you got to do separately from your friends, your peers. You got to have those lonely hours. You got to have your own personal relationship with Yah. So you have to do things separate from people. You got to separate yourself. You got to separate yourself from individuals. You got to come from among them and be ye separate, said the Lord. You got to separate yourself from iniquity in order to sit up there and get to the serenity of God. You got to leave abominations alone so you can get to salvation. And in order for you to sit up there and get to sanctification, you got to leave, a lot of fleshly, earthly things alone. So things that you want to do, that your flesh want to do, you can't act that out. Even in spirituality, sacrifices have to be made. You know what I mean? Hold on. There we go. Sacrifices have to be made. Certain things are not going to be obtained in the game, outside of the game, until you separate yourself. Some of the greatest thoughts that a man could ever have is when he's alone, meditating and allowing the spirit of knowledge and wisdom to minister to his mind. You have to separate yourself. I love Farees. That's my brother. But there comes a time where I'll get tired of his ass too. I know he get tired of me, and we have to separate. because it's time for me to be alone. It's time for me to read. It's time for me to meditate. It's time for me to sit up there and allow the spirit of the game to minister to my spirit so I can produce some more of it. Then, you know what I mean? I have to go, of course, and preside over, my students and things like that. And he has to do his thing as well. But we have to separate. It's not that we're not brothers, because we are. But even brothers have to separate. Because there's certain revelations and there's certain greatness that could only be obtained by separation. You have to separate. You got to get your quiet time in. You got to get your quiet time. You got to get that reading time in. You got to get that meditating time in. You got to get, for a lot of y'all that's in spirituality, you got to get that praying time in. You got to get it in. You got to get it in. Watch this. When you look at the old covenant, and when you look at the high priest in the old covenant before Yahshua comes into existence, and when you look at the old covenant in the days of Noah, when they had the 613 commandments of the Torah, being applied, and everybody was supposed to apply it. If you look during that time, when has God ever sent his fire down on an empty altar? How could you receive something from God and you have nothing on the altar of sacrifice? Everything that you consider to be great, it takes a sacrifice to get that. You want to be successful? The price of it is sacrifice. Man, I want to pimp on that level. Sacrifice. Man, I wish I could rap on that level. Sacrifice. Man, I want my body to look like sacrifice. I want that car. Sacrifice. I want that amount of money. Sacrifice. Everything has to be a sacrifice. You know what I mean? Sacrifice. Those who study, who are biblically, inclined, the word, everything that I'm saying is in order. You can't go in the holies of holies and come before Yah, and you come before Yahweh with no sacrifice on the altar. You won't be received. Why? Because you don't have no sacrifice. Watch this. Even when you look in the word, and when you sit up there and see the book of Esther, which people don't speak on a lot, and you look in the book of Esther, I believe it's the 4th chapter and the 16th verse, or somewhere within the 4th chapter. I haven't read it in a minute. But when you look in the book of Esther, she said, if I perish, but I'm going to see the king. She was willing to sacrifice her life in order to see the king. So for those of you that are in spirituality, it takes a sacrifice to be able to see the king. Who is the king? Yahweh. Who is the king? Yahshua. Only the pure in heart shall see Yah. Only the holiness in heart shall see God. It takes a sacrifice for that. Whether you switch it from spirituality or you look at carnality, everybody that you consider to be legendary, everybody that you consider to be great, there were sacrifices that had to take place in order for them to get there. Countless hours of reading. You got individuals right now, when they listen to Brother Polite, they be like, man, I wish I had that mouthpiece. Man, I wish I could speak like Brother Polite. Man, I wish I could speak like Farrakhan. Man, I wish I could speak like Malcolm X. Man, I wish I could have spoke like Khalid Muhammad. Man, I wish I could have been the next Marcus Garvey. Man, I wish my mind was as beautiful as Langston Hughes. Man, I wish my mind was as beautiful as Paul Laurence Dunbar. What are you doing to produce that? What sacrifices have you made? That's why I tell y'all, everybody get upset. Seeing always the dictionary this. Watch this. I'm going to give you another reason before I close. Sonetta just allowed Brother Polite to have a debate, which I'll probably be speaking on tomorrow or probably within this week, because there was a lot of things I couldn't speak on because I had to give my videos enough time to breathe in the American Pimp. That's how much respect that I have, for what I'm doing when it comes to reviewing somebody's body of work. I would want somebody to do the same with mine. I didn't give you just a review 30 minutes. I could have did that shit. And I know I would have got more views just doing 10 or 20 minutes. But because this is a masterpiece and I'm doing art, I had to take my time. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? But just to sit up there and give you the truth, when you look at that debate that was on Sonetta between Nature Boy and I want you guys to go look at it because I'm going to speak on it. And when you go see that video, I want you to get in the comment section and say, Sinful sent me here. Let Sod know that you coming from me. You know what I mean? And it was Brother Polite versus Nature Boy. I want you to actually see, you know what I mean, that debate. See, Jay already seen it. But I said that to say this. What was irritating was when Nature Boy kept saying, oh man, them big words. He uses big words, big words, big words. The word, if you look in 2 Timothy 2:15, it taught you in that epistle, Paul said, to study to show thyself approved unto God. Watch this. It never said, study the word of God to show thyself approved unto God. It simply said, study. When you are constantly studying every day, reading the dictionary, when you constantly memorizing every word within the dictionary, when you constantly reading books, because if you don't read the dictionary, I don't even understand why y'all do that. What book should I read? What book should I read? What's great books to read? What's great books to read? I can understand if you're a reader, but some of you are not readers and you're lazy. So you're going to read a book, you're going to see a word that you're not familiar with, and you're going to walk over the word. You're going to go past that word as if you didn't see that word. You're going to try to go and leave that 17-letter word as if you didn't see it. Whenever you see words that you are not familiar with, stop playing. Hold on. Stop playing. Stop playing with the game. Don't laugh at me. Stop playing. Get in the dictionary. No, I do not like going in the phone and getting on Google and looking up words. That's not the way I was taught. I'm 34 years old going on eternity. I stay in this. I got pages in here that's glued together. Can't lose my pages. You know what I mean? So don't laugh at me. You know what I mean? Don't laugh at me. Seeing your dictionary look terrible. I know. I done had this dictionary for the longest. I had it, you know what I mean? Before high school. I had it in high school. I had it in college. You know what I mean? Which I should have finished school, but I didn't. But yes, you know what I mean? I don't like going to Google. Google has replaced the brains of people. People don't like to use their minds anymore. Fuck Google. Every now and then I go to Google, but when it comes to words, looking up words, I don't want to go to google.com. If I have to because we in the streets and I don't have this on me, it is what it is. But when I'm in my house and I hear a word that I'm not familiar with, I'm going to this. This is my dictionary. Hold on. Don't laugh at me. This is one of my biblical dictionaries. This is one of my biblical dictionaries. And a lot of you say, Sin, you say you haven't studied the word, you know what I mean, and this long and that long and that. How are you able to quote the way that you quote? Because you must understand, when I was a young minister, man, I was on fire for God. I wasn't religious, I was real. This is the word that I had as a teenager. Look at the size of my Bible. I still have it to this day. Look at the size of this is the Bible that I had when I was living for God as a young teenager. One brother, he got videotapes of me preaching at Old Landmark. Some got tapes of me preaching when I was at Bishop Mullen's church as a youngster. But look at that. The same way gangbangers represented a gang, the same way individuals represented the movement that they was in, I wanted to represent this word, man. I wanted to let everybody know that I was living for him. I didn't carry a book bag to school. I came to it with a briefcase. The same way that I'm dressed now, that's the way I was dressed then. Just didn't have no Louis Vuitton scarf. And to keep it real, back then I probably wouldn't even wore a Louis Vuitton scarf. Because I didn't want to glorify no names or anything like that. I was so consecrated, I don't want people to think I'm being vain. That's my mind. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted during lunchtime in high school after, you know what I mean? Because you got to remember, like, if I go through my time span, which I'm going to do with Sonetta or O'Shea, speaking about my beginning before the game, somebody like, it don't add up. No, dumbass nigga, you don't listen. But when I was involved in spirituality, man, I wasn't going to the cafeteria. I went a few times when they asked me to try to debate me, and they would get smashed. But I was in the library. I was studying the encyclopedia. I was in the dictionary. And for those of you who want to really buy some real jewelry, not the $100,000 little shiny thing, but you want some real jewelry, get some encyclopedias from the 50s and 60s. Them the best encyclopedias that you can get. I'm gonna even give you the seller to get it from. It used to be this company that we used to purchase it from. Mom bought me all the encyclopedias from the 50s, and she gave me the encyclopedias from the 60s. Those are the best dictionary. That's how I found out who Nimrod was, Semiramis was, the true birth of December 25th, how I was able to find out that Yahshua was pretty much, he wasn't born on December 25th. He couldn't have been. And how, he was really killed on a Wednesday and was resurrected on the Sabbath. He didn't get it. And one day when he died, he got killed, and then he got up 3 days on a Sunday. No, he didn't. We have to use our minds. Because when we look back, you said 3 days and 3 nights. Brother, that's 72 hours. 3 days? That's 72 hours. So if you get killed on Good Friday, how the hell are you getting up on Sunday? That's not 3 days. Somebody lying. We have to study. The reason why Nature Boy got tore up in that debate is because he don't study. And let me say this, just because you're the leader of a movement, that don't make you a spokesperson. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was the leader, but he wasn't the spokesperson. That was Brother Malcolm. So when he said, you keep using big words, he was afraid of big words. So that's why I tell you to study the dictionary. Because if you're familiar with the words in the dictionary, can't nobody use no big words that you ain't familiar with. When you constantly reading in the dictionary, ain't no damn word that somebody gonna just put every now and then, yeah. But don't be afraid of big words. That sounds stupid. And anybody that's afraid of big words shouldn't be leading nobody. Nigga can just say a 15, 20 letter word. You don't even know if he's using it in the correct context and you scared. Yeah, okay, you sit down. You ain't got enough game to lead. So I want you to go see that debate because yes, I will be speaking on it. I don't know if I'm gonna go live or not, but yes, I will be speaking on it because there's a lot to learn from that. You know what I mean? But going back to Dre's statement, a lonely one. This is a lonely game. Some of y'all, I know that you got a child or children, but when your children are asleep, do what's vital to your title as a mother. Do you really love your child? Do you want to see your child successful? Some of y'all got the father ain't acting right. He ain't in the child's life, not even financially. You know what I'm saying? None of that going on. So the child has you. So you got to be the one that, because sometimes the teacher at school don't even have a successful method on how to teach this child about this certain subject. You got to seek God for wisdom on how to teach your child. Can't nobody reach your child the way you can reach yours. Come in and acknowledge God. Come on, woman. Read. Separate yourself, you know what I mean, from everybody. There's a lot of y'all trying to shake your booty and, you know what I mean, your ass and all of that, and you trying to sit up there and have a good time. That's what's up. But you need to take out some time to study and read. When Dre said that, yeah, of course, he was talking about the game, but to you squares outside of the game, it could even apply to you. Separate yourselves. Separate yourselves. Separate yourselves from conversations that have nothing to do with no edification, no education, no inspiration, no uncommon information, nothing. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Separate yourself. Stop becoming a trash can for bullshit, for negativity, for gossip, things that don't lead up to nothing. Stop that. You are what you continue to listen to. So if you're listening to bullshit and you keep listening to it, that's why your mind is polluted. And that's why this knowledge along with that bullshit becomes convoluted because you sitting over there listening to some bullshit that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Pedro, I appreciate the $2.99. I want you guys to make sure that you put in Gorgeous Dre and you put in Dre's channel, put in Gorgeous Dre so you can see the daily fires, and make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell. Make sure you go to Freeze channel, FreezeIzit, and click on the, click on basically the subscribe and bell for him. And also, I want you to come to my Blade Music Videos channel, and I want you to subscribe and hit the bell over there because Freeze wasn't able to put that Kodak song, on his thing. They removed it. So when he did the ZZ, I got it on my little channel. And come on, people, let's get that channel above 1,000 subscribers. Come on, man, go to Blade Music Videos and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. One of my mods, go bring the link right now and put that in the comment section. Put that in the comment section. Thank you, Tony. Also, if you would love to have a private conversation with me and speak privately, you know what I mean, and you want to, some consultation, you know how to go to my website, www.sinfulthep.net, hit the consultation button. And let me say this, some of you have had emergencies in your life, and you call me without making an appointment. Did I charge you? No. I know he wouldn't mind, but it was an incident with one of our loved ones, with our family members, and he just had an incident where his niece was molested by his sister's boyfriend. And he didn't know what to do because his niece, the biological father, is not in the niece's life. He's so even though he's the uncle, he's like a father to the niece. So when he heard that, instantly he wanted to kill him. But he called me. I didn't say, "Oh man, you got to make an appointment." You know what I mean? I'm gonna do this for you. Hold on, because I don't know whether or not you meant to do it, but let me remove that for you. I don't know if you heard things in the wrong time, but no, that wasn't a laughing matter. So no, I'm gonna get rid of the LOLs. I'm talking about somebody being molested. That's not funny. What's going on, Angel Cakes? Blessings to you. But yeah, when it's an emergency, and you really are in a crisis, you know what I mean? If I can't get to you, it's because I'm busy. I'm not ignoring you, but if you can get to me, man. You know what I mean? Get to me. Especially in situations like that. Because if it wasn't for me, he would have put himself in a position. And like I said, in that type of circumstance, like I'm going to tell you guys, like, I don't encourage nobody to, do no murder or whatever. But whatever happens to that guy, if he accidentally disappears, that's on him. But if when he disappears, I want your liberty in society to be maintained. I still want you to be free. I don't want you to be locked up and messed up. You know what I mean? Over this meaningless life having individual. No, I want you to still live life and do your thing. So by all means, man, I appreciate you guys. We finally done. Hope you enjoyed the review. I want to say that I think that American Pimp was definitely better than Pimps Up Hoes Down. Pimps Up Hoes Down did have a few parts in it that I liked, but overall, it was trash. It was terrible. And as far as American Pimp, it was better, but it was a lot of things in American Pimp that was terrible as well. By the cover of the film, being a snitch, by a snitch receiving the Pimp of the Year award within it, by statements being said that was, contrary to what is right. And thank you for the review, me being in position to get this review. But other than that goofy shit, for the pimps that spoke according to the game, yes, the game was represented right. You know what I mean? As far as verbal, and things like that. Yes. American Pimp was, in my opinion, the best documentary that I've ever wanted. Well, I say because it's a lot, but it was definitely one of the best documentaries that I've ever seen. It was shit in it that I didn't like, but it was so much within it that I loved. You know what I'm saying? So to keep that thing all the way 100, because some of y'all been hitting me up. Come on, Sid, do Willie Dynamite next. Do the Mac next. Do Bossing Up next. Do Snooki's film next. And I'm not saying I'm never going to do it, but come on, man. Like, I appreciate you guys' patience with me. Allowing, the videos to breathe and doing 3-hour videos on each one of them and things like that. You guys stuck it out, man. I appreciate you guys, man. I love you for that. And, I haven't seen all the cross-country pimpers, so I would have to see them. And the one that I've seen most of it was like 3. I seen most of that, but I haven't seen all of them. So I would have to watch them to, do judgment on that. But I already know certain things was contrary. I love you guys. I want you to hit the, hey, Kimmy, with your pretty self. Make sure you hit the channel. And if you're not subscribed to my channels, make sure you come through and subscribe and hit the bell. Make sure that you come to my website and make an appointment. Definitely won't be a disappointment. And if I don't go live tomorrow, I'll go live later on this week because there's so much that I didn't get the opportunity to speak on last week. Well, really technically still this week because I was allowing American Pimp to breathe. But now that we're done with that, now we can move on. I love you guys. I hope you live as long as you want and never want as long as you live. Love. Catch you guys later.